Hi, and welcome to Floor Conversations. My name is Angela, and thank you for tuning into my channel today. So, the topic of discussion today is how to become a better conversationalist as someone who's shy and introverted. This is something that I've had to learn over the past few years, someone who's in business, and as I've also moved to a new city in the past few years and had to learn how to become good at having conversations. So to begin with, I used to be someone who's very shy, awkward, and introverted. But now it's actually kind of funny. People think of me as extroverted, and I don't know how they get that impression, but I'm still a very introverted. Very much, I love to be by myself. But I also actually really enjoy people. Previously, before I didn't really know how to like talk to people or engage with people that were in my immediate close group of friends, and having to really learn how to navigate the corporate space. I've had to become better at having conversations. So today I put together 7 quick tips that have helped me become a better conversationalist and have helped me to learn how to make great, genuine friends in a new city. First things first, give genuine compliments. This is a great entryway to start a conversation, and be genuine because people know when you're giving them fake compliments. So don't just find anything to compliment them about. If you like something about the exterior, like maybe you like the way that they put the outfit together, maybe you like the way that they styled their hair or colored their hair or whatever, just be genuine about it and give them that compliment. One, it makes them feel better. One thing that's been a great tip that I've heard is that people like to be like, people will like you more when you like them. So give them a genuine compliment about something that you admire about them would be great. People are not hearing the great things about themselves as much as you think they are. So giving them a genuine compliment is definitely a way to just ease into the vibe of having a good conversation with someone or making a new friend. It's something that's helped me greatly. And my second tip here would be to be warm and have an inviting smile. And when I say smile, I mean smile with your eyes. People can tell when a smile is fake. There's a difference between, let me take off my glasses. There's a difference between, and can you see my eyes? Your eyes just make it seem more genuine and more real. So when you say smile with your eyes, don't just, or that's not going to do. Be warm, be inviting. Your body language plays a huge factor, is a huge factor into how you're received. So make sure you're open, your arms are not crossed, be genuine. You don't have to, if you're not a touchy person, don't touch people. Other people might not be touchy, so you don't have to go around touching people. You can just smile, be genuine, say, hey, I love your hair, or girl, I love the way that you put that outfit together because you really stepped out. Like something like that. So it's kind of funny, something that's kind of cheeky, not too cheeky. Be mindful, be demure wherever you are. So just be genuine in everything that you do. Be genuine about the compliments, be authentic, and let people know what you admire about them. In fact, it's even better to let somebody know that you admire them. You want to be friends with people that you admire, right? Um, yeah, and it also doesn't always have to be external compliments. If you like the way somebody, maybe you overheard the way somebody explains something to somebody, or they just taught you something new in an interaction, whether it's an interaction directly with you or with somebody else, you can say, hey, I learned a lot from you, from saying this, from the way that you talked about this. That, like, internal compliments, at least for me, they do more for me sometimes than external compliments, right? Because it shows that you care about my full personhood, right? So other people might genuinely like to hear about things that you admire about them. So my third tip is to let people talk about themselves. So as an introvert, your biggest tool is to be able to just be quiet and listen. And you don't even know how far this goes in conversation. So this is one tip I learned from internships and externships while in the business field. People love to talk about themselves. So let them talk about themselves. Ask them, hey, what is something, like, you could ask them a question about one, maybe what they do, or maybe what is a project that they're passionate about. Let them just talk about it. And then with that, you can listen actively and ask them follow up questions. That would be my fourth tip. Ask follow up questions, right? This shows that you're engaged. Make sure you're nodding, make sure you're listening attentively, because then people know that you actually care about what they have to say. And sometimes you underestimate how these little things can actually, you know, move the conversation and the relationship forward. So let people talk about themselves, listen attentively, and ask follow up questions. And another quick tip, just to tack onto that one, is that sometimes if you don't know what to say or how to contribute to the conversation, you can sometimes repeat what they said at the end. So if you're talking about elephants and they say, "Oh, I saw an elephant in Thailand," you can literally just say, "Thailand, tell me more," right? Asking people just to tell you more can move the conversation forward without you having to share too much about yourself as well. But if you are also wanting to genuinely contribute to a conversation, which you should because it allows the person to also get to know you can find something that relates to what they say. So maybe you haven't been to Thailand before, but you can say, "Oh my goodness, elephants are my favorite animal. I love how majestic they are," right? Adding something to contribute to that, and then saying like, "How was your experience seeing an elephant live and in person?" Something like that is it. It doesn't take too much out of you, but it's a quick way to also show that you're engaged in the conversation. My next tip is to learn something about them and bring it up the next time you interact with them. When you listen attentively to the first conversation that you had, you can take something from that conversation and store it in the back of your mind. Say you're not the best with names, right? One thing that I do is I say, "Hey, I remember you from this last event. You're the person that likes elephants, right? I forgot your name. Could you please remind me?" If it's your second time or third time meeting somebody, I think it's absolutely okay to maybe not remember their name. If you can, please do, but sometimes when it's your second or third time, you can kind of get away with it if you remember something else about them, right? It shows that you still know that person. You might just not be good with names. And you can tell somebody, "Hey, I'm not the best with names. Can you please remind me of your name?" That's perfectly acceptable too. Or you can say, "Hey, I remember this about you. Could you please remind me of your name?" That shows that you remember them. But people who like to act like they didn't meet the person previously or whatever, don't do that. You don't like that, okay? So try to remember something about them. Try to remember their name or a nugget from your previous conversation. Also, having that nugget from your previous conversation in your mind, you can continue that conversation. It shows that you actually care about that person. You cared enough to listen to what they had to say. The biggest thing about friendship I've learned is that people want genuine connections. Most people want genuine connections. And in order to show that you're a genuine person, that you're an authentic person, showing somebody that you care about them in little ways that you care to even remember about what you guys had talked about previously is a great gateway to entering new friendships. My next tip is, say it's your second time meeting somebody, even your first time, and you decide, "Hey, I'm just great. I'm really vibing with this person. I really want to continue this relationship." If you guys exchange numbers or you guys exchange social medias, and you say that you want to hang out outside of, that social setting that you guys met in, please follow up. One thing that I realize is a lot of people don't follow up. For me, I've learned that if I actually like somebody, I'm going to follow up. I'm going to say, "Hey, let's go grab coffee. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for dinner, brunch, something," right? But a lot of people will say that they want to make new friends and they won't follow up. They won't text the person. I think part of the reason why sometimes people feel like, "Oh, maybe that person doesn't actually want to be my friend. Oh, that person doesn't actually want to talk to me." Sometimes people are pretenders, but the least you could do is at least try and shoot your shot outside of that social setting, because it's going to be no regardless if you don't ask to hang out, if you don't follow up, right? So at least give yourself a chance to see if that relationship, that connection actually would flourish outside of that social setting, right? So follow up with somebody, just say, "Hey, I really enjoyed the conversation, would love to just catch up and grab coffee." And most people are willing to say yes. Most people like socializing. Most people like to, connect and do something. And if you are an awkward person, you could say, "Hey, let's go do an activity." You could go for a walk. You could go and I don't know, what are other activities people like to do? Fishing or something. I don't know, something where it's like maybe not too intense, but something that's really where you can like really allow organic conversations to flourish. But yeah, please follow up. A lot of people don't like to follow up because they have these preconceived notions that people don't really like them or don't really want to follow up or don't really want to be friends. But you won't know unless you try, so please follow up with people. And my last tip: don't be desperate. Let me say that again. Don't be desperate. As an introvert or someone who's shy, you're good. You should be somebody who's good with being by yourself. You may be lonely. Maybe that's why you're watching this video. You want to learn how to make friends. You want to learn how to become a better conversationalist. But that doesn't mean that you should choose anyone or you should just accept anyone or show that you're desperate for friendship, right? It's okay to be eager and excited to have a new friend. That's absolutely okay. Everyone needs somebody in this life, a friend, a partner, somebody you can do life with. But don't be so desperate for friends that you'll take anyone who disrespects you, anyone who doesn't treat you well. And be someone who is so comfortable with yourself that any friendship or relationship is simply an addition to your life and not just somebody who's there to fill the space. These tips will help you to become a better conversationalist and to help you foster genuine connections. But don't be too over eager to a point where you're just accepting anything. Because honestly, I'm personally a big proponent of the fact that being by yourself is better than being with fake or bad friends. Not everybody should be your friend. Be somebody who's so comfortable with yourself that making friends and making these connections is simply to enhance the quality of your life and not just something you're doing just to do right. Um, be comfortable with yourself. Learn how to love yourself, learn how to build up your self esteem and your confidence, and yeah, learn how to be real with yourself. Learn how to be comfortable with yourself so you're able to better discern who is for you and who's not for you. Don't be desperate. So, we're at the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this helped you learn a few tips as to how to become a better conversationalist and to learn how to make friends from a former shy and awkward girl. I'm still kind of awkward, I'm not gonna lie, but listen, I'm not where I used to be. We praise God, okay? But I'd love to hear what's one thing that's helped you improve socially. Please share some tips. I would also like to learn something from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.